Good morning, chicks and chickens. Welcome back to Old Man Farm. My name is Sid, as always. Actually, very not normal. I had to get a new mic. In the process of filming that Palea video, I crashed my mic. It definitely broke in a couple of pieces. So, this is a new one. I hope that it's gonna... I've done some preliminary testing. It should be coming out all alright, but... if this audio is a bit janky, give me a pass, because I will be working on it moving forward. So, yeah. But beyond that, today we are going to check and see if it is possible to go get the some stairs with our jade from the desert. We're gonna go to the mine, see if we can't, attempt to get to that floor 100. Like I said, I realize it's been this long and we have not made attempts to get towards our best boy Krobus. I also went and saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Spider-Man, whatever the verse, last night. Kind of on a whim, and I'll talk about that and a little bit relating to my mental health in that regard, in a positive light. I noticed some things last night that were, I don't know anyone that has these issues, so I definitely kind of want to talk about them, see if it's something anyone can commiserate with. And before all that, we're obviously going to go hang out with the livestock, and I do think I have a little picture / video to show you guys of Poke from last night. She got some french fries and a bit of a hot dog because I spoiled her and took her with me, so. But, okay, let's go read that letter and then we'll get on with the day. Hello there, dear. I hope your farm is doing well. I'm sending you a little something from my kitchen. Hope it wouldn't crumble in the mail. It's bread. I'm never upset to get some bread. I'm gonna assume this is fresh baked from Evelyn's kitchen to my heart. You know, my arteries. So, speaking of arteries, I did not eat well yesterday. It was a drive-in, right? So, yeah, I'll just get into the movie. It was a drive-in, but the drive-in actually opens through, for lunch through the week. They serve, pizza and chicken and, like, pulled pork and just all this stuff, right? So, they had some options. And through the week, like during lunch, they serve like patty melts and stuff. So it was pretty interesting. But they had a pizza that was specific for the Ninja Turtles movie. The boxes even had like homemade like stickers that said like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, New York City, established whatever 1987 I think is when the Turtles came out. I don't know, whatever it was. And super interesting, but it was a a pepperoni and pickle pizza. And I am a huge fan of pickles on pizza, pickles in general, but I actually really like pickle pizza. When I make them, I don't do it just pickles as a topping. Like I don't use normal pizza sauce. I have a whole way of going about it when I do it, but still, I tried it, and it was, it was fine. It was one of the greatest pizza ever, but hey, as far as drive-in food goes, I was pleasantly surprised. And, I was also thinking, speaking of drive-ins, we have a fairly diverse demographic here at Old Man Farm. I was wondering if all of you guys have drive-in theaters, or if that's, I know it's fairly common across the U.S., but I don't know how common, and I don't know if it's common at all in other countries. So, yeah, let me know if that's something you guys have. I was thinking of that last night. I was like, I wonder how common that is. But anyway, so I'm watching TMNT, and no spoilers here, but it was amazing. I have to say right off the bat, I am a huge TMNT fan. I have been since I was a child. TMNT is essentially, I mean, roundabout, it's within a year or so, I think. It's essentially the same age as me, and I have been watching them my whole life. It's definitely something I've grown up with, and yeah, it's just I love TMNT, and there's been a lot of iterations that are not so great in my opinion, but this specific one was amazing. I thought the art style was it was so special. It was so different. You know, and again, I know like Spider-Verse, you know, has a very interesting art style, and I could definitely see people immediately pulling comparisons because this has sort of like a choppy, hand-drawn, blah 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 kind of way, but it really feels like some of those just dirty, grungy, like late 80s, early 90s, like composition book drawings, and I loved it. It was so good. Okay, we don't have any of the no drops today. That's okay. But I loved it, and I thought something I thought was really cool is all of the humans were incredibly asymmetrical and in a non-judgmental way, very ugly. And I think that could really turn a lot of people off, is that there is a fair amount of ugh to the art in general. But I personally, I love that, and I also think it was interesting that all the mutants, despite being, you know, horrible mutants, look how they quote should. But all the humans are asymmetrical and weird looking, right? And I don't know if that was intentional to sort of, here you go, Pam, to sort of make you feel the us versus them way the turtles have to live, because that was sort of a plot point of the game, or of the movie, or not. But it was good, and even more than all that, the whole time watching that movie, I just kept saying, damn, I don't know who did the score for this movie, but I need to listen to this soundtrack. It was so, well, score and soundtrack are two different things. I know, don't at me. Whatever. But I mean, they were both good, but I'm specifically talking about the score. And at the end of it, I guess it was Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, so not surprising that I was into it. I do like some industrial music, but it was, oh my god, it kept catching me off guard. I was bopping to that score. I could not get enough of it. Yeah, and you know, it was not about Shredder, so I don't know if that's maybe a spoiler. I don't know, but you find out, you know, within the first 15 minutes. Yeah, the main antagonist is not Shredder. But I think that only adds to, you know, that only adds to the appeal of it for me. That they didn't dive in with, you know, the Turtles' most well-known villain right off the rip. I'm generally a fan of that, and in a I won't say selfish way, but in a way, it's cool for me, because it means that if that movie does well, there's room for a sequel. And there was a very diverse cast of voice actors, voice talent. It was well done. I loved that movie. And then I would definitely be seeing that again. When we left, I said, you know what? I want to go see that in theaters now. You know me, I have an addiction to the theaters. I love going to the theaters to watch movies. But, yeah, great movie. I suggest you watch it. If you ever liked the Ninja Turtles, if you are a fan of animation in general, or if you just want to hear some really good music to some very weird visuals, it is great. I will say I was a little worried that the Turtles were, I mean, I know it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? But they were definitely, I feel like on the young end of teenage. The Turtles, when I was watching, when I was a kid, always struck me as realistically probably like late teens, you know, 16, 17, 18 years old. Then again, I was a child, and I thought, you know, 13-year-olds were adults. So, you know what I mean? It's hard to say, but I definitely got that feeling. And in this one, despite them being high school age, I would say they are like 9th grade high school age. You know what I mean? So we're talking, what, 13, 14 years old. Didn't bother me at all. I didn't feel, I mean, there's a lot of like, you know, I'm young and hip kind of references in it, but I don't think it detracts from it. It's the kind of thing that, you know, me being, you know, not exactly hip with the lingo, I believe is how the kids say it. You know, I still had a great time. It didn't take me out of it. But yeah, super good movie. Anyway, though, then Spider-Man Into the Duderverse was whatever was after it, and it started raining, and the whole car fogged up, and I couldn't see anything. So, and it didn't stop raining, so we left after, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes into the movie. So I didn't really get to see it. So wah. But I'll be checking that out when I can. I had never intended to watch that in theaters because the first one was I in the past I have been known to get a bit panicky during really frantic, lots of light changing, you know, not like epileptic level, but I get a weird panic in me when there's certain things like that, very flashy visuals and stuff. So I know that if I watch it at home, I can control, you know, if it gets to be too much, I can turn on the lights in the house. You know, there are ways around it, but I didn't intend... Wait, here. It's a page from someone's diary. There are only a few older bachelors in town, and none of them are perfect. Harvey is really anxious and weak, but I know he would make a loyal and devoted husband. He likes coffee and pickles. Elliot is a bit foppish and melodramatic, but he does have a nice chin and likes crab cakes and pomegranates. Shane is messy and antisocial, but I think his gruff exterior is a defense mechanism, insulating his softness from the world. He likes beer, pizza, and pepper poppers. Oh my god, I really am Shane. I'm just Shane, everybody. Anyway, yeah, I didn't intend to see that one in theaters, but it was on, you know, and the boy wanted to watch it, and then it all got ruined. So, back to the original plan of as soon as it comes out, I'll be getting it and watching it at home. So, but yeah, go see TMNT. It's freaking amazing. I can't say enough good things about that movie. But the mental health thing I was going to talk about, get out of here, is I noticed on the way, because as I noted yesterday, oh, speaking of, thank you guys for being so cool about, I say this every time, and I shouldn't, it's not surprising, and I know I don't need to thank you, but I do appreciate when I am having a day and you guys are so supportive of my need to take a day off. I'm not good at prioritizing my mental health, and I'm trying to be better with that, and I appreciate you guys not only facilitating but encouraging me to do so. So thank you very much. But on the note of mental health, I noticed yesterday, because I was in a pretty bad place mentally, and I was not feeling good physically, my whole body. I mean, like I said, I just defaulted to saying under the weather, but it was everything. It was the brain, mind, body. It's brain and mind. But it was rough. So, up to the last minute of going to the movies, I was, you know, preoccupying myself. I was in Palia doing some research. By the way, I have a video coming up on that, I believe. But oh, there's a speed racer outside. But nice. We made it to 100. Oh, that's a starfruit. Awesome. I'm gonna take a drink of coffee. You found a star drop. It's not starfruit, it's star drop, Sid. Come on. It's strange, but the taste reminds you of pizza. Your maximum energy level is increased. Awesome. And we can catch lava eels, but we have a full inventory. So I'm going to take this as a good time to head back to La Casa de Mi. And we're going to go, but first we are going to check in on Marlin. Try and get those hearts up, boy. Anyway, it was down to the last minute of me leaving. There you go, Marlin. And I realized, you know, 5 minutes away from my house that I had taken no steps, no abnormal steps towards leaving. Hi, bunny. Leaving the house. And what I mean by that is, for years, I have had to varying degrees, I've had to have a bit of a sort of a go bag situation just to leave the house. And what I mean by that is things such as I've had to take my medication with me because of I would have panic attacks if I didn't have my medication with me, and that would stem from the idea that what if, and I know this sounds crazy, I know how weird all this sounds, but it is the thought process that I used to go through. And I would think, well, what if I start to have a heart attack, or what if something happens regarding my my anxiety, my panic, and I don't have my pills with me. Mind you, I don't like carry on Xanax or something to bring me out of a panic attack. This is not even a logical train of thought. But, you know, I would think that, and I would take all these things with me everywhere. And so I'd have a backpack with my pills. It would have, say, some candy, or not candy, excuse me, like a granola bar in it. It would have, you know, and oftentimes it would have, actually pretty much all the time, it would have like an emergency, like a small liquor bottle or something of the like. And I would need, quote unquote, need these things just to make me feel safe. It was purely, and these things never got used. It was purely a neurosis that I had developed that was wholly unrelated to anything other than a bunch of internalized anxieties and fears, mostly stemming around the lack of control that stems from a panic attack, and the fear of randomly dying. I was petrified after I had a stroke in my mid-late 20s, and ever since then I have just been petrified of you know what happens, and you know it could happen at any time, right? And I realized, you know, because I have not been to the drive-in since I've been sober. By the way, I passed 3 months. Woot woot, thank you. And what was I saying? Oh, right. I haven't been to the drive-in since, and I usually drive to the drive-in, and then I don't drive home because I take booze. And this is, I didn't. This is the first time in my adult life I did not take booze with me, obviously. And just in general, I didn't take my little go bag. I didn't bring my pills. I didn't take anything. I just left the house. And that seems like a nothing, I'm sure, to most people, but that was it was a very freeing moment. It's not like a moment of pride or whatever. I don't think my pride center of the brain functions properly, but it's a sense of freedom where it felt good to know that I didn't need this thing anymore. I didn't need I am capable of spontaneously leaving my house, go doing whatever, and I don't need to, like, you know, check, oh, do I have all of my defense mechanisms with me? That was a pretty amazing feeling. So and it happened incrementally. This wasn't even something, I wasn't working towards this. I just one day I noticed, hey, I didn't have a bug out bag to go to, you know, the movies, which is nice. So anyway, that's neither really here nor there. I know that probably doesn't even makes sense to a lot of people, but it is something that I noticed, and I was happy about it. I'll probably talk more about this tomorrow because we are at the end of our day, but I have been noticing a lot of things that are very small incremental changes that again, I can't focus on long-term changes, or I start to be upset by the lack of, quote-unquote, lack of results. And that is a horrible way. That's a sure way to shoot yourself in the foot with any progress like that. And this just sort of snuck up on me, and it was a nice moment. It's like putting on your winter coat and realizing you left a 20 in the pocket, right? You're like, oh, well, that was nice. Good job, me. You did something to help, past me helped future me, or present me, I suppose. It's future me to past me, whatever. Anyway, okay, that's it. I'm gonna go. But I appreciate you guys sticking around, especially to this point and getting through my ramblings and just watching and hanging out in general. Yeah, I really do appreciate it, and I don't want to lose. That is one thing I don't want to lose sight of, and the incremental things is the fact that you guys do hang out and interact, speak with me both in Discord and on the comments and all that, and it is excellent. I appreciate it. Nice little community we've built here. Anyway, be good to each other. I will talk to you tomorrow. Good night.